Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. Of course, I'm Diego, and today we're going to continue to talk about this episode of And Just Like Crap, Season 10. Oh, sorry, Season 3, Episode 10. Season 3, Episode 10. Okay, the name of this episode, this piece of crap episode, is Better Than Sex. There's nothing in this episode that's better than sex, okay? Nothing at all right? But we're going to talk about this episode anyway. Yes, the rumors are true. It's been confirmed. The show is canceled. It's gone, okay? This is it. Okay, now I know some of you read the articles already about the whole, like Michael Patrick King, the showrunner. By the way, he came on in season 2 of Sex and the City. He was not in season 1. Season 1 was all Darren Star, right? But Michael Patrick King, he took over basically. That's when the whole feud really started between Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker. Was Kim Cattrall's character Samantha was obviously a breakout character, the most popular character on the show. That intimidated Sarah Jessica Parker, and of course, because Cynthia Nixon and Sarah Jessica Parker grew up together in New York as rich, privileged kids in the acting industry, they formed an alliance. Okay, and of course, Kristen Davis joined them. And that kind of left Kim Cattrall to fend for herself, because after the second season, Darren Star left the show. Okay, so basically Kim Cattrall was on her own. They would have fired her, but they couldn't because she was like the standout character on the show. She was the most popular woman on that show, so they needed her there. They knew what she brought to the show, so they begrudgingly had to keep her on, despite the fact that SJP wanted to get rid of her. Okay, and that's the truth. That's what really happened. And then there was other things like money issues and stuff. In the second season, SJP became a producer, so she had more say, she had more authority on the set as far as what could be done. And Kim Cattrall was not. Okay, she was just a high-priced actress, but she really had no say. Okay, and of course Michael Patrick Queen, he immediately jumped on the SJP bandwagon and joined her side. So it was a pretty tough set to be on, okay, for Kim Cattrall. It really was. All right, and I'm not saying that I feel totally sorry for her. She made a lot of money. She got a lot of publicity out of this show. I mean, she was selling sex books and stuff with her now divorced husband. I mean, she was doing the Hollywood circuit. I mean, she was all over the place. Okay. I think she won some Emmys or something too. I'm not really sure about that. But, so Kim Cattrall definitely got a career boost out of this. She was the standout of the show. Okay. And I know that rubbed SJP the wrong way. Okay. So now, of course, they're back now for this piece of crap show. And Michael Patrick Queen decided that he's the one that decided to cancel the show. He said, as he was writing the 10th episode of this season, he realized that this would be a perfect spot to end the series, to end it, okay? And we're supposed to believe that. Are you out of your friggin' mind? Okay, this show went nowhere, okay? This show went nowhere, okay? He's saying that they extended the last episode, which was supposed to be episode 10. This was supposed to be the last episode of the season. And they decided to add on 2 more episodes, which start next week. Okay, so that they could finish out the entire series. Okay, get the hell out. This series went nowhere. Okay, there's plot holes among plot holes among plot holes. Okay, none of these characters progressed. Nobody went anywhere. Okay, on Sex and the City, at the end of Sex and the City, Carrie ended up with Big. Okay, we'd seen them be off and on, okay, for 6 years by this time. Finally, they ended up together. Not married, but together in a committed, monogamous relationship. He was even going to move back to New York out of California, okay, to be with Carrie. Okay, so it finally happened. Okay, that's called character growth. That's called a character arc. Okay, see, Carrie started off as a single slut working in New York, okay, writing a tabloid advice column about sex, to being a married woman, to marrying a multimillionaire, okay, a guy who epitomized what she wanted in a man. Okay, her dream guy, so to speak. Okay, so she started out, as stupid as this is, and it is kind of stupid. Okay, it's very stupid, but I'm a straight guy, so what do you expect? Okay, and as unbelievable as this is, I mean, Avengers Infinity War is more realistic than Sex and the City, and definitely more realistic than this piece of shit. Okay, but at least it's a character growth. She started off somewhere and she ended up somewhere else. Okay, what the hell has Carrie accomplished on this series? Okay, since season 1, what? Big died in the first episode because she refused to call an ambulance for him. She just held him there and smothered him while he breathed his last breath. Okay, so what the hell does she accomplish? Starting with that as the starting point for the show. What did she accomplish since then? Nothing. She inherited his money. She has no kids. She has no family, no parents, no brothers and sisters, no nothing except herself and her goddamn shoes and her Vivian Westwood fucking outfits, her super expensive outfits. What the hell does she got going? She's got nothing. She's got nothing. Where's this money going to go when she dies? It's going to go nowhere. It's going to disappear. Because Big didn't have any kids either. Okay, what's she going to do? She's going to leave the money for Brady? Okay, is she going to leave the money for Lily and Rose? Okay, they're already multimillionaires. What the hell do they need her money for? Okay? I mean, this is ridiculous. Is Lisa going to get any of the money? Okay, because Lisa hasn't changed at all. She's still an insufferable fucking cunt. Okay? Since the very beginning. She acts like this big boss bitch. Okay, yeah, she's been working on the same goddamn documentary about pioneering black lesbians for 9 years, and she still is not done with it. Okay? This is not a woman who's good at her job. But she acts like she's got to juggle all these things. Oh, woe is me, poor me. Get the fuck out of here. You know what poor you would be? If you were actually working to support your fucking family. If you were paying for everything for that luxurious fucking closet you have that you use as an office. If you were actually paying for that, that would be something with your own money, with your own hard work. That would be something, but you're not. Your soy boy, limp dick, beta male, chubby, ball-headed pussy of a husband is paying for everything. He's paying for your kids, their private schools. He's paying for every goddamn thing in that house, and you treat him like shit. You treat him like he owes you something. You see what I mean? This is like, what the fuck, man? Who the fuck are these characters that I should care about them? What are their problems? Okay, every character in the show owns 2 villas in Rome or some shit. Like, what the hell is this? How are they supposed to be relatable? How are we supposed to empathize with them? How are we supposed to feel sorry for them? Okay? On Sex and the City, Carrie was what made the least amount of money out of her friends. Okay, she didn't even own her own place. Okay, everyone else did. All her friends owned their own places except for Carrie. Okay, she was struggling. Okay, Samantha Jones never struggled for money. Neither did Miranda. Neither did Charlotte. Charlotte just was just a gold digger. You know, she got everything in the divorce from her first husband. They were married for less than a year. She got everything. She got the apartment. She got everything. She's set for life. And all she had to do was marry this limp dick guy for like 9 months. And she's set for life now. She's still living in the apartment that her ex-husband Trey left her. Okay, so what the hell? This is ridiculous. What are they doing this for? Nobody went anywhere. Well, Miranda became a lesbian. So what? So what? Where did that go? Because there were no consequences for that. Steve's not mad. He forgave her right away. They're cool now. They're buddies now. I mean, he got custody of the son. I mean, what the hell? There were no ramifications, no repercussions for anybody's actions. What has been Charlotte's character arc on this entire show? Nothing. She started off as an airheaded girl, conservative girl who was looking for love, and now she's just an older, Botox-infested airhead who thinks she's all fucking that and tells everyone what the fuck to do, and panics and oh my god, like she's on a fucking sitcom. She's the only person on the show that thinks she's on a fucking sitcom with her hyperbolic gestures and shit. Okay, her melodramatic body language. She thinks she's fucking Lucille Ball. You're not good enough to lick fucking Lucille Ball's fucking ass. Kristen Davis, you're nowhere near that funny. Okay? So what the fuck is this? Why are we watching this? Okay, I'm watching this because I hate watch it. Okay, you want me to start on Seema? Do you really want to go there? Seema? Huh? Seema, haven't I said enough about her? Haven't I given her enough of my attention? Okay, Seema represents everything that fucking men hate in women. Everything. You want to look up the word misogyny? Okay, look it up. You're gonna see a picture of Seema right there. Okay, this is why men hate women. Okay, because of Seema. Okay, she's every single thing that men hate in women. Seema epitomizes all of it. She thinks she's better than everyone else. She thinks she's a fucking 10. She's condescending. She's rude. She's insufferable. She's narcissistic. She's unattractive. She's a chain smoker. I mean, come on. The list is endless. Okay? She represents everything that men hate in women. All right? And the show is too stupid to realize that. She's one of the superheroes on this show. Like, what? Can you really not read the room? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, and maybe you all hate me because I say these things. Maybe you think I'm a misogynist or something, or I hate women. I do not. I most definitely do not. Okay, but the way I look at it, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, the way I look at it, I'm actually doing you a favor, ladies. I'm doing you a favor. You know why? Because I'm showing you respect. I'm calling out the crap. I respect you too much to let you fall for this shit, okay? Because I see what they're doing. They're presenting you these women, okay? These aspirational women that you think that they're telling you this is the kind of woman you need to be. You need to be full of yourself. You need to be, they call it empowered, but the truth is it's called narcissism, okay? They want you to act like you're this boss bitch, that you don't need a man, that you're better than any man, okay? And they're feeding you this crap because they're hoping you're stupid enough to believe it. Okay, they're hoping that you're stupid enough to go along with this stuff, okay? And I know you're not. Deep down inside, I know you're not, okay? I know most of you out there do not believe this narrative that they've been spouting on this show since the show first started. Hell, they've been spouting this narrative for a good 10, 12 years now, like hardcore. Okay, this woke ideology. Women are better than men. Blacks are better than whites. Gays are better than straights. Okay, this whole idea, okay, the whole non-binary bullshit stuff, okay, that they've been just shoving this down your throat since the first episode. Okay, I know you're smarter than this. And deep down inside, you know that. You know that. Okay, and that's why this show is nowhere near as successful as Sex and the City was, because despite the fact that Sex and the City was woke, okay, not as bad as this, okay, as far as the way that they treated men. Okay, there were no real men on Sex. There was only a few real men on Sex and the City. Okay, I've already reviewed every single episode. Watch them if you want to know what I thought about the show in general. Okay, but there was a few real men on Sex and the City, but most of the men were not. They were disposable, like toilet paper. They come in, they go out, boom. Okay, so the men weren't really treated as realistic or believable on Sex and the City, with a few exceptions. Okay, on this show, none of the men are believable. Okay, all the men are soy beta males. So they're all insecure. Okay, the men on this show ask their wives to tell them that they're pretty. Okay, what kind of a man does that? Am I pretty? You know, what kind of man? No man does that. No real man does that. You see what I mean? But yet on this show, all the men do that. There are no strong men, except for maybe for Steve, but we barely get any of him. We've only seen him once this entire season, okay? Granted, it was a good scene. I enjoyed it, okay? But that's it. That's all we've gotten, was this episode of Steve when he was yelling at Brady for being a fuck up, okay? You know? It's exactly what I would have said too. I would have done it the same way. I couldn't believe there's actually a man on the show, but there's not enough of Steve. Okay, they got rid of him early on. Okay, you can't have Cynthia Nixon, okay, play a straight person. That goes against her religion. Okay, she's a loud, proud lesbo now. Okay, and even though she ran for governor of New York and nobody voted for her, she still thinks that she has that kind of authority. And because she's in an executive position on the show, she has rights over how her character Miranda is going to be portrayed. And I'm pretty sure the first thing she says, "I'm gay now, so Miranda's gay too." Just like that. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went down. All right. Despite the fact that it does damage to her character, does damage to a lot of other characters in the show. But nobody gives a shit about that. This show was never about promoting Sex and the City. It was never about catching up with these characters and seeing what they're doing, okay? How their lives have progressed, okay, since the last time we saw. This show was never about that. This show was always about one thing, about a progressive message, about BLM, okay, about LGBTQ rights, okay, about feminism, okay, about pride parades, okay. That's what the show has always been about. Okay, it was under the presumption that you were going to catch up with your old friends from Sex and the City, but it's never been about them. They're not the stars of the show. Okay, the stars of the show are the politics, the progressiveness. Okay, the fucking blacks are better than whites. Okay, I'm a woman, therefore I'm a queen. Where men are all slaves, men are all like peons. Okay, you see what I mean? That's exactly what this show is. Okay, and this show is unabashedly unapologetic about its own misandry. Okay, the only men that are treated with any respect on the show, okay, are the gay guys, the gay men. Okay, not the straight guys. You see what I mean? It's sad. It's really, really sad. The young women on the show are portrayed as idiots, okay, and the older women are portrayed as geniuses. And this is just dumb. This is not realistic at all. It's just feeding you. This is a shit sandwich, ladies. Okay, and I think deep down inside, most of you know that. You know that, which is why you're not eating it. That's why you're not eating the sandwich. This is why the show's getting canceled. Okay? The show was never meant to catch you up on Carrie Bradshaw and her life or anything like that, or Miranda or Samantha, okay, or Charlotte. It was never about any, or even Anthony and Stanford. It was never about that. It was about pushing the progressive woke politics, okay? That's all the show has ever really been about, okay? Biden got elected, boom. You know, liberals control Hollywood, they control HBO, boom, we're gonna get some more. Let the good times roll. Biden's in the White House now. You see what I mean? They still think, the people on the show still think it's 2021. Okay? They haven't moved forward. Okay? They honest to God thought that the American public really, really sided with them and not with the other guy. Okay? And I'm sure they're more shocked than anybody else that most of America doesn't agree with their worldview, does not agree with their politics, the politics that they shove down our throat. And it's not just, and just like crap, okay? It's everything. It's fucking Lord of the Rings, okay? It's fucking Transformers, okay? Everything's been wokeified. Even Willow. Willow was so fucking bad, they pulled it off of Disney Plus. They just removed it from Disney Plus like it never happened, okay? Because of how woke it was. They took something classic. They destroyed Star Wars, the same thing. It got destroyed because of wokeness. Okay, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay, the biggest money-making movie franchise in world history, okay, has now crumbled. Look at the numbers of Fantastic Four. Nobody went to go see that shit, all right, except for me and my son, okay, because Marvel's dead. Why? Because of the woke. The wokening happened, okay, and they wiped themselves out with their own disease. Okay, I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened to this show. Same thing that happened to Star Wars. Same thing that happened to Marvel. Same thing that happened to Stephen Colbert. Okay. Same thing is happening to The View right now. Okay, they got destroyed by their own wokeness. Okay. Because nobody wants to see this shit. No men, no women want to see this stuff. Okay? It's not entertaining. Coming in and sitting, coming in to watch an episode of And Just Like Crap, and what do you get? You get a fucking 45-minute gender studies fucking lecture, okay? This is bullshit. Okay. All right, let's actually talk about the episode now, all right? Okay, where did we leave off last time? Okay, yes. Seema was busy eating out Carrie's asshole at the restaurant, telling her how great she is, And Carrie, of course, was jiving in about how men always find her attractive. Every single man in the world finds her attractive and cute. And how Duncan Reeves is the first man that's ever found her brain attractive or some bullshit like that. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, it's all a load of shit. All right, and then we find out that Seema hired back her driver Rocco. That's all she really cared about. That's the only person she ever really cared about on the show. That's the only person she ever really had any emotional attachment to, was her goddamn driver. Why? Because he drove her all over the city. She had to pay him, but he did what she said, and he never fucking once opened his mouth to give his opinion. Okay? That's what made him priceless to her. You see what I mean? Priceless. He did what he was told, and he shut the fuck up. All right. Moving right along. We find out that Miranda and Charlotte are talking, okay? They're walking down the street in New York in the afternoon. They're talking. That's a first, I think. I don't think I've ever seen Miranda and Charlotte talk, okay? Walk down the street and talk to each other, okay? That never happened on Sex and the City. On Sex and the City, you never ever saw Charlotte hanging out with Samantha. You never ever saw Miranda hanging out with Charlotte. You never saw Miranda hanging out with Samantha. No, you always saw one of those women hanging out with Carrie, okay? Either all four of them or two of them, and one of them was always Carrie. That's how it always was, okay? All three of them thought that each one of them was Carrie's best friend. But now they switched it up. Now here's Miranda and Charlotte talking to each other, walking down the street talking to each other. Oh my God, where's Carrie? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, when the hell did Miranda and Charlotte give two shits about each other? Carrie's always been the glue that held the women together. These women would not be friends with each other if it was not for Carrie. Carrie's the only reason that the four women ever hung out with each other, okay? All right. So anyway, Miranda and Charlotte are talking. That's a first. All right. And we find out that Brady moved in with Miranda. So he moved out of Steve's house. Okay, and moved in with Miranda because Steve gave him an ass chewing that he should have given it to him like 5 years ago. All right, and she finds out the name of this girl. Her name is Mia. That's the girl that Brady supposedly got pregnant, and she works at a hair salon. Okay, so the good news for Miranda is that, hey, well, you know, at least I'll be able to get, she'll be able to color my hair red from now on for free if she has my grandkid or some shit like that. And Miranda says, like, he gets her pregnant and now all of a sudden I'm a mother again? How is it he gets her pregnant and now I'm a mom again? Okay, you had never been a real fucking mom, okay? It looks to me like Steve raised Brady himself, okay? Badly, I'm sorry to say, I love Steve to death, but he's a piece of shit father. He is a piece of shit father, okay? A real father would not have raised. I can't believe a guy like Steve would have raised a limp dick fucking soy boy Ronald McDonald impersonator like fucking Brady, okay? A little fucking pussy whipped fucking crybaby like Brady as a son. How the fuck can you look at this fucking kid, okay, and be proud that that's what you created, that this is the fucking spawn of your loins, okay? It's some goddamn skinny little fucking male feminist piece of shit pussy boy. Okay, that is a fucking sad fucking shame that someone like Steve, no less, could raise a little piece of shit, prissy little fucking Tinkerbell like Brady. Okay, I can see it coming from Miranda, but for Steve there, it never should have happened. It never should have happened. All right, so I gotta take points away from Steve here. Okay, you're not a good fucking dad at all. Okay, that you raise a piece of shit son like this. Okay, anyway, so and I already know Miranda's a piece of shit. Okay, you know, so that's going on here, okay, and I can't understand why Miranda's upset that all of a sudden she's a mother again. Like, who the fuck's been taking care of Brady the past couple of years? Ever since you fucking dumped your husband for a fucking disgusting Fred Flintstone impersonator, okay, with a vagina, okay, who the fuck's been raising your son? Yeah, it's been Steve. It's been Steve. How is it fucking, you know, all of a sudden you divorce him and all of a sudden he's a dad again? Like, see how that makes no sense? Anyway. You know, I mean, Steve's been taking care of Brady while she was out there fucking monster. While she was out there fucking monsters, okay, Steve was the one that was taking care of her son. All right, so give him a little bit of credit for that. Okay, now they go to the salon so Miranda can meet Mia. Okay, it turns out that Mia does work at the salon, but she's not a hairdresser, okay? She's actually the shampoo girl. And she's there, she's short, she's dumpy, she's fat, and I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with the pregnancy. I'm sure she was fat already, like overweight. And she's immature, she's stupid, she's got fake blonde hair, and yes, she's pregnant too, okay? And so she's a short, fat, pregnant airhead, blonde, who's working, she's working on a wellness app. I guess that's her job away from this job, away from being a shampoo girl. She's working on a wellness app. Okay, and Mia farts a lot while she's doing Miranda's hair. Miranda decides to go there incognito. She's not going to tell Mia who she really is, that she's Brady's mom. She just wants to act like she was recommended to her and she wanted to meet her and all this kind of shit, okay? So that's going on here. So there's Mia doing Miranda's hair, you know, shampooing her hair in the sink. Okay, you know, and she's farting the whole time she's doing that, which kind of grosses Miranda out. Okay, yes, Miranda got grossed out. A woman who sticks her arm in the bottom of a fucking trash can to eat her dinner is grossed out by a couple of farts in front of her face. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, anyway, so Miranda fart, yeah, blah, blah, her hair, Mia mentions that she's pregnant. Obviously, it's obvious she's pregnant. She mentioned that she was gonna get an abortion until she found out that the baby's gonna be a double Libra. So she's into astrology too, okay? And she said, and that's my vibe. So clearly this young lady is immature as fuck, doesn't know what the fuck she's doing with her life. Okay, just like Brady. Okay, and she refers to Brady as her fuck buddy, not as a boyfriend, not as a fiance or the father of my child. It's just a fuck buddy. Now Miranda says, like, how do you know he's the father? You know, and all of a sudden Mia's like, well, why are you asking me that? And then before Mia could answer, okay, Miranda just tells her the truth. She says, like, because I'm Fuck Buddy's mother. Okay. So, of course, what does Mia do when she finds out that the woman she's shampooing the hair for is the mother of the father of her baby? What does she do? She fucking turns on the water and sprays it all over her face. Miranda's like, ah! You know, which would get you fired in real life. Okay. So Mia is like, you know, how dare you coming in here lying like that? It's gross and inappropriate. Gross and inappropriate. This little fucking bitch, okay, who's been farting in front of her customers all day, is calling Miranda gross and inappropriate. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I am going to go with that. Miranda says, like, you waterboarded me. And Miranda apologizes, even though she's in the wrong. She apologizes and says that she wants to, even though Mia's in the wrong. Miranda apologizes and she says that she wants to have a relationship with the boy or girl that's in her stomach. Okay, and Mia says, like, huh, boy or girl? You are like so binary. You see, so even fucking Mia is too woke for these two woke tards. And by two woke tards, I mean Charlotte and Miranda. Okay? So as woke as they are, this girl is even ultra woke. She's even more than far left, okay? She's like fucking long distance left. Okay, so yeah, okay, so she farts some more and walks away. Oh my God. Okay, the next scene here is Duncan. Duncan drinks more scotch because he's an alcoholic. Okay, at Carrie's, Carrie screams for Carrie. He's at Carrie's house and he's Carrie, where are you at? He helps him with some scotch, starts drinking some scotch, and he walks upstairs. He's following her, you know, to go see Carrie. He's never seen her bedroom or anything like that. We know what he's doing. So he goes upstairs, calling out, screaming out for Carrie, okay, to come down. So he decides to walk up the stairs, okay, and she's having a problem with her printer, and he discovers that all she needed to do was plug it in. Okay, like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, this is like low level flirting here. It's pretty obvious what you're doing. Okay, so he plugs in her printer. Okay, and then what does he do? Of course, he compliments her and tells her how great she is. Oh my God, by the way, you're so stunning. You're so lovely. You're so smart. You're sparkly. You're genuine. You're authentic. Your cock is much bigger than mine. You're fabulous. You're wonderful. You're a better author than me. You're smarter than me. You're more successful than me. You have more bestsellers than me. This goes on for a few hours. You know, that kind of shit. This happens every episode, by the way. To all the characters, all the women on the show get this treatment. All right? And that's how you know they're great, because other characters tell you how great they are. All right? So that's going on here. He compliments her to no end. She shows him the countless outfits that she has in her closet. And, of course, he's fascinated by them because he is secretly a homosexual. Okay? And, of course, the shoes. He's flabbergasted by the, oh, so sparkly. Oh, incredible, these shoes. Yeah, at one point he grabs one of her shoes. It's like a fucking silver diamond shoe. Starts talking on it like he's talking on the phone. Hey, my God, look how cute and nuanced I am. A British man talking inside of his shoe. Oh, it's a stiletto. Like that, I guess, because that gets Carrie's pussy wet. Because that's what always happens to women when men talk like that in their fucking shoes, in women's shoes. Okay, everyone knows that. All right, it's better than Spanish Fly. Okay, so that's going on here. All these outfits and shit, you know. She calls her shoes her girls because. Okay, anyway, Duncan says, like, sparkles, sparkles, sparkles. Just like that. 3 times, just like that. You're just a fairy tale, aren't you? Well, you know what, Duncan? You're just a fucking fairy. Okay, I know they're trying to write you as a straight guy, but they don't know how to write straight guys on the show. Okay, so no, you're a fucking fairy. Okay? You're a fucking fairy. Okay? Why do you think you're hanging around Carrie? You know why? What was Carrie and Liza Minnelli and what's her name and Lady Gaga all have in common? Okay. 2 words, and they both rhyme with bag. That's why. All right. Anyway, moving right along. So of course he creams all over himself for her diamond shoes that she has. Okay, he holds them up, like I said, like he's talking on the phone. He invites her to a party while he's doing this. While he's making a bitch of himself, he invites her to a party, like on a date. Like, yeah, he does. Okay, his publisher, he doesn't want to go. I would rather cut off my own leg and eat it than go to this party. But the publisher's having a party and it should really bring someone. So if you'd like to go with me. And she, of course, she agrees to go because she's been wanting to fuck him ever since he showed up for the first time. Okay, she was never going to be faithful to Aiden. She even told Aiden that. Okay, she never had any intention of just fucking him. Okay, she was always going to cheat on him. Okay, that was never a question. Okay, even back in 2000 when they were together the first time, she was still going to do that. All right. Anyway, so the very next scene here, so he asked out Carrie for a date. Okay, the very next scene is Gabby. Gabby is Lisa's daughter. Okay, and Gabby has a pet hamster that Lisa actually takes care of. Okay, Shirley's the name of the hamster. Okay, and Shirley escaped. Shirley's not in her little cage anymore, so she's somewhere in the fucking apartment. Probably in that fucking huge fucking expensive closet that Lisa commandeered. Okay, where she has a little office inside of her closet. Okay, so he escaped from the cage, and Lisa yells at her daughter about this. Okay, she's like, "You got a loose rodent in the house! How could you be so stupid? I am furious at you!" Like that. Okay, because that's how she talks to her daughter. Okay, I mean, I had some mom flashbacks right there watching that scene. Anyway, while she's screaming and ass chewing her daughter, a lot of ass chewing in this episode, you know, between parents and their children. Okay, so while she's chewing the shit out of her daughter, all of a sudden her mother-in-law comes in. Okay, and her mother-in-law, I forgot her name and I don't give a shit. Okay, the mother-in-law comes and goes like, "So this is how you speak to your children? Herbert, let's get out of here. Good luck finding that hamster, mommy dearest." Okay, yeah, her mother-in-law is always quoting fucking pop culture from like the 70s and shit. Okay, or the 60s. Okay, like she made a rude reference to this woman. Okay, at her daughter-in-law's father's funeral, where she said something like. This woman was like, I can't remember something about Liberace meets somebody, some black famous woman or some shit. Okay. When we first met her in season 1, you know, because Elisa likes to wear fucking outrageous fucking clothes. She dresses like a fucking kaleidoscope, but every once in a while she'll wear like cheetah patterned outfits or lion patterned outfits and shit. And she called her like the fucking Lion King or something once, the Lion Queen or some shit. But she's a fucking bitch and a half. Yeah, and I agree. I agree. Lisa is a bitch and a half. All right. And all of a sudden Herbert shows up, you know, because he heard her screaming, you know, and Lisa's like, "Oh, I'm a terrible mother and I'm a terrible wife. I'm never here. I'm always at work. I've been working on the same pioneering lesbian boss bitch documentary for 9 years for PBS, so that means I'm making no money and I'm still not done with it. I want to fuck my editor. My husband is unattractive and wimpy." You know, and all of a sudden there's Herbert standing there. You know, he's like, hey. You know what? And I agree with her and everything that she said. Hey, so you're not going to be Supermom tonight, okay? It's okay because you're human. You're just human. Now, where's my tampon? Like that, just like that, all right? Anyway, and then all of a sudden you see the hamster run by. They go chasing the hamster. Who gives a shit if they catch the hamster or not? It doesn't matter. All right, next scene. Let's get out of Lisa's closet now. All right, next scene, because Herbert won't get out of her closet. He won't come out of the closet. I get the joke. All right, next scene, Seema goes to Adam's window to go smoke a cigarette. Because Seema's a chain smoker and she's fucking Adam, the hippie fucking gardener, okay, who turned his apartment into a shrine for his mother, who died like 30 years ago. Oh my God. Anyway, so she goes up, she opens up the window, and of course, it's the window right there next to the flower pot, okay, that Adam refers to as his mother. And she knocks it over, okay? She knocks it over into the street, okay? She knocks over Adam's mother. Okay, so what does she do? She runs upstairs because I guess it's like an attic crawl space fucking ladder to get up to the bedroom. She sticks her head out and tells him, "Hey, I just killed your mom. She just fell down. I knocked her off the window by accident while I was smoking a cigarette." Yeah, that happens, right? And of course, he freaks out, but we don't see what else happens there. Okay, next scene. Yeah, we're moving right along. Charlotte goes to Carrie's house, okay, for her rescheduled psychic energy exam. Now, earlier in this episode, she had a Zoom call where she was going to speak with a psychic, not look at her, okay, because the psychic did not want her face to be shown on the screen, just her voice. Okay, well, they were going to do a 40-minute session. Well, they couldn't do it at Charlotte's house because she has renovators, construction people in the apartment renovating all the walls. Okay, between that and her husband is like watching the baseball game really loud, and her daughter and her friend are tap dancing right in front of the door. She can't concentrate. She can't hear anything. So she rescheduled the last 15 minutes of her session. And she's going to do it at Carrie's place. Why? Because Carrie lives alone in a 2-story house. With nobody there except for the cats. Okay, that's why. So she decided to move the session over there. So now Charlotte's there. Okay, and while she's there, she's talking to Carrie, and she notices the Vivienne Westwood dress that's in the closet there. Okay, Vivienne Westwood. She even points it out. This is the same woman who designed the wedding dress that Carrie wore at her wedding, her first attempted wedding with Big, the one where he stood her up at the aisle. Well, Carrie, why the fuck did you think that Big was going to show up for your wedding with him, okay? There was no best man there. There was nobody from his family was there. There was absolutely no family, no friends, no groomsmen, no best man, no father, no mother, no brother, no nothing. Okay, sorry. Y'all thought I didn't know. Yeah, you didn't notice that, did you, in the movie, did you? Yeah, he had nobody from his side of the family was at the wedding. Okay, just like Charlotte. Remember when Charlotte got married, the 2 times Charlotte got married? Her brother wasn't at either one of them. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so she points out the Vivienne Westwood outfit that's hanging there in the closet. Okay, and Carrie says that she's gonna wear that to the party that Duncan invited her to. Okay, so Carrie tells her about getting mad because Carrie always talks about herself. She never really talks about anyone else's problems. It's always about her problems. Carrie tells her about getting mad at Miranda for pointing out the chemistry that was obvious between her and Duncan at the party, at Charlotte's birthday party. And Charlotte's like, is it more than just writing, you and him? Is it more than just writing? Because, Duncan's a writer too. And clearly there is, but Carrie doesn't want to admit that to herself. So clearly Carrie likes Duncan, okay? Okay, she's attracted to him. She's been trying to fuck him for a while now. Even back when she was with Aiden, she was still trying to fuck him, okay? It's pretty fucking obvious. Nobody just goes on dates with guys because you're friends. You don't just hang out for hours in his apartment because you're friends, drinking alcohol and eating together. And you don't do that if you're just in a platonic friends, okay? The only way I could believe that is if Aiden was there living upstairs, okay, and if he had a girlfriend or a wife, then I could see that, okay, because there's no way they would be able to get away with anything with their spouses and their partners there, okay? So no, it's just so convenient that Duncan has nobody in his life. He has no girlfriend, no wife, no children, no nothing. He's just there all by himself. Oh, really pretty fucking convenient, isn't it? All right? Anyway, so Carrie tells her about getting mad at that, blah, blah. But Carrie doesn't want to admit to herself that she's attracted to Duncan. She even yelled at Miranda a couple episodes ago. For Miranda pointed out how they look together, like they're a couple. Okay, so that's going on. Charlotte says, you were true to Aiden. You were true to him, and you were true to him. But he's gone, and that dress you have in the closet needs to be seen. And then Carrie says, ooh, I wonder what Miranda would think. Okay, yeah, that's what happens here. Okay, there's some real drama going on in this episode. Okay, no, it's pretty damn obvious that Carrie's been wanting to fuck Duncan for a while. Okay, we all saw right through that. Okay, she was never gonna stay with Aiden at all. Okay, I don't think she ever really liked Aiden. Okay, I think that she knew that Aiden checked off all the boxes of what she's supposed to like. You know, honest, loyal. Well, not anymore, but he used to be honest, loyal, giving, considerate, empathetic. You know, patient, kind. All these things that she knew that she was raised to believe that this is what, you know, I should have want in a husband is a man who has all these qualities, okay? But unfortunately, those qualities don't exactly get your pussy wet, do they? Okay, I don't think Aiden ever really got Carrie's pussy wet, okay? She wants someone who's just gonna fuck her 5 ways to Sunday, okay? Someone's just gonna fuck her in half, all right? Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, whether he's a good guy or if it doesn't fucking matter to her, okay? Just someone's just gonna fuck the shit out of her. That's the one she's gonna go after. That's who she's gonna fall in love with. All right, let's not make any illusions. Okay, Big used to be that guy in the first 3 seasons of Sex and the City. Then he quit being that guy, became a limp dick soy boy, just like every other man on the show did. All right, but for the first 3 seasons, he was that guy. Okay, but anyway, there's no guys like that anymore because they're afraid of men like that. They're afraid of strong men. That's what this show is all about: being afraid of strong men. You can't have strong men on this show. Okay, all right. I'm going to stop right here, but I'll be back to continue my review of this piece of shit. I thank you very much for watching this long. I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.